you took Taylor Swift reading my diary, and you read my mind in this book. Hi guys, welcome back to my video. If you saw my last wrap-up and TBR, no you didn't, because I completely lied and I didn't read any of the books they told me to. But I promised during summer I'm gonna read more books. But I did read 2 of the books that I said I would read. This meant I had an excuse. You can't even see them. But it was my birthday. So that was one problem. But also, I've just been overwhelmed with homework. And I've been taking all of my classes really, like all of my hard classes, because I want to graduate early. So yeah, that's been an issue. But yeah, today we're going to be doing my May wrap-up and June TBR, and June is my birthday month, and I am on my last week of school, and next week is finals, but they're all online. So hopefully I'll be reading a lot more. But yeah, I'm excited for what this month has to offer, because I'm 20 now. Anyways, we're gonna get into, also I changed my hair again. Extensions. I had them up to here, but then I cut them up to here because my natural hair is like up to here. So not much change. I can't deal with change very well, but something happened. We're gonna get ready to talk about all the books I read in June. So one of the books I read in June, as you may have heard, was Mile High. And I talked about it in my last wrap-up, but I said I would talk about it more in this one, because I was like maybe 50%. I think it was like 30% in my last video. But basically I got more in, and oh my god, it just kept getting better. Like, I'm just going to tell you that right now. But I have a couple of notes. I don't think I went over that many notes in my last one. But I did go over like the Stevie baby thing. It continues throughout the whole series, throughout the whole book. Cutest thing ever. She's dating her ex's favorite player, but that's a little like thing that goes on in I think all of the books. Like, she's dating like the guy, but it's her ex's favorite player, and I feel like that's like the best thing ever. I didn't know I love that trope until now. But yeah, so basically I'm gonna explain it again for anyone who didn't watch my last video. But this book is about Stevie and Xander's. Basically, Stevie's is a flight attendant, and her brother is like a big basketball player for a team, but she becomes the flight attendant for a hockey team. And the hockey team basically, like, usually they switch out flight attendants, so they always sleep with them. But in this one, I guess she works for like this company that made a contract with this hockey team, and they're not going to switch out their players anymore. They're not going to switch out their flight attendants anymore, so they're going to stay with them the entire season. And basically, so he's like, well, I can't do anything with them now, like he can't date them or whatever, blah blah blah. And it's kind of the funniest thing ever. But I don't know, the relationship is so cute, and the way like he helps her see herself more confidently, like in the whole book, is just amazing. But there's gonna be a spoiler section, so spoiler section now. Before spoiler section, I firstly gave this book a 5 stars, but compared to the second book, I would say it's a 4.75, but I'm just going to consider it a 5 because I did love the book. The second one is just a million times better. But yeah, so we'll just say 5 stars. But spoiler section now. Well, first, she's dating her ex's favorite player, which is amazing because he literally goes up to her, and then when he realizes, he's like, but it's so funny. She pulls him by the chain, and I feel like that's the most attractive thing that's ever occurred in a book. I love that in books. And one of the parts she says, I don't remember what I said in the last video about it, but she talks about how like he feels like he's seeing her, like every time like they get together, like every time they're together, she feels like she's so much more confident because he like makes her feel more confident. I feel like that's such a cute thing to have in relationships. I don't know. The third act breakup made me cry, like made me bawl my eyes out. Like, no matter what happens in any book ever, the third act breakup will hurt me. Like, I know it's gonna happen, but no matter what, I won't be ready for it, and it's the saddest thing ever. But this one made me cry. I even said most devastating third act breakup ever. There's a lot of talk about generation trauma, and I loved it. Like, basically, like, her mom is not like the most supportive of her lifestyle, because she's like, her mom's like a Southern belle, and I guess she doesn't fit the stereotype of a Southern belle, but her mom's always making comments about her body, always making comments about her relationships. And I love how in the book, like, in the beginning, she's like, she's my mom, like, our relationship isn't the best, but then later on, she's like, no, I'm not going to talk to her anymore because she's not respecting my lifestyle. She's not respecting me. And he fully supports that. And, like, she didn't think her brother was going to support that because her brother is, like, the perfect guy in the mom's eyes. But as soon as, like, the brother realized that she was uncomfortable with the mom and that she was going to, like, get separate from the relationship, the brother was like, okay, me too. I'm not inviting her over if you're not supportive of her because they live together. And the brother's like, okay, she's not invited anymore until she fixes her relationship with you. She's fine. And in the end of the book, they decide to go to, like, that family therapy and all that stuff. But yeah, I did like that aspect. The dad was really supportive of everything, but in the beginning of the book, you can tell that he, like, kind of didn't address it as much. Like, he knew it was a problem, but he didn't defend the daughter as much, Stevie. But then at the end, you can tell, like, they were having issues in their marriage because he, like, was defending Stevie so hard, and he realized, like, the mom. But then they explained that it was generational trauma because the mom didn't approve of anything her mom did either. Like, she was basically passing down the same treatment she got from her mom. So it was just, like, a whole thing, but it was very cute to watch. Very close to my heart, but we're not going to talk about that part. And then, so in the third act breakup, there's a quote that absolutely broke my heart, and it says, do you know what it feels like to watch someone walk out the door after you beg them to stay? Oh my god. And then he says, I left her before she could leave me. What the actual fuck? It was the most heartbreaking thing in the entire world. But yeah, so it was an amazing book, and that was it for Mile High. On to the next one. Could you imagine if a creep just showed up in that window? That would be hilarious. I'm just kidding. That would be terrifying. I change a lot in front of that window. Probably not the best idea. Like, I always forget to close my windows. They're getting a show. Whatever.
Oh my god, my brothers had the audacity to get sick and start coughing.
Yeah, like, why are my brothers sick while I'm recording? The audacity.
Oh, you're still recording?
Yeah. Okay, next book I read was The Right Move by Liz Tomford. And basically, this one is about Ryan and Indy. Ryan is the brother of Stevie from the first book, and Indy is her best friend that she met when she became a flight attendant. And basically what happens is Indy just walked in on her boyfriend of, like, literally her entire life cheating on her. And so she has no place to stay, and she's going to move back to, I think, Florida with her family. But basically Stevie is like, no, you're not leaving me. Like, you're not leaving me. So she's like, stay with my brother. And the funny thing is, Indy, like, when she broke up with her boyfriend, she kind of, like, broke down in front of him and, like, basically embarrassed herself. So she's, like, embarrassed to go there because she kind of has, like, a teeny, like, she's attracted to him, but like a teensy tiny crush. But basically that happens. So they move in together, and Ryan has sworn off relationships since, like, I think high school or college. But he's such a, like, he's so quiet, so closed off. Not even with his teammates does he go out or anything like that. But he's now the captain of the not hockey. He's a basketball player, and he's more popular than the hockey team. So in this one, there's, like, more media attention and more, like, fear of that stuff. I forgot to say that they're fake dating because she needs a date to her best friend's wedding because the ex is gonna be there, and he needs to start dating someone because what's it called? He needs to start dating someone because his, like, manager doesn't believe that he's, like, he makes connections with people enough to be the captain of the team. He's like, you just, like, your only personality trait is being good at basketball. And he's not wrong, but then he gets more personality towards the end. Steph Bauer read these books, and she said that The Right Move is so much better. But I didn't believe them. But she did describe one scene where it's like they're going to a barbecue, and she's vegetarian. So she's vegetarian or vegan, but basically she doesn't eat meat. And they're going to a barbecue, and she's like, oh, I'll probably just get salad. But then he walks in with vegan hot dogs for her. And I'm like, I love this man so much. But yeah, he's a basketball player, and he just became the captain. So we're going to get into spoilers. And I apologize in advance because these are my notes for this one. Like, I kept taking pictures of my Kindle. But there's a lot of things to go over. Because if you thought the first one was good, this one hits it out of the park. There's nothing better. This is my favorite book. I want this book tattooed on my body. Indy is me. Like, anything Indy said, I was like, that's me. I've never felt so, like, written about in my life. I was like, you know, you took Taylor Swift reading my diary, and you read my mind into this book. Like, you know? But yeah, so that's The Right Move. And you guys should definitely read it. Ryan and Indy. Anyways, it was really good. So in The Right Move, it's Ryan and Indy, and oh my god, so they have like this relationship. I forget what the context was, but I wrote this down. And basically he said, he's like, "Are you asking where I fuck?" And I was like, oh my god, like, why would he say that? And he's such a noob with girls. Like, he doesn't know how to act around them, and it's such a funny thing. Like, he doesn't know how to react. God, that hair keeps bugging me. But he doesn't know how to react, and he's such a cute little noob. Basically, he wakes her up to scream about her. Like, he wakes her up to scream at her for leaving a mess around the apartment, or like leaving color, because all she left was like pillows and a blanket and a plant. But then he noticed that it's like a succulent, and he's like, "Wait, I thought you liked flowers," which I was like, "You paid attention." But she was like, "Oh, I thought you liked flowers." But she's like, "Yeah, I travel too much to keep them alive, so I just keep the succulents because it's close enough." But then he's like, "Oh, I'll help you maintain them." Which is so true, because I can't keep a plant alive, so he's so mean because he kills it. And he's like so cute about it. He's like, "Indy," and she gets so scared. She's like, "He's gonna tell me to move out." And he's like, "I killed your plant." And then she like goes along with it, but she's like, he's so cute for worrying about it. And he is so cute for worrying about it, because he does kill that plant. And he tries to replace it, but then he doesn't realize that he couldn't find any of that flower, but he buys her cuter flowers, so it's fine. They were texting, and he said, "See you at home," when he was like blatantly like saying like, "I don't want you here, it's just a favor for my sister." No, he says, "See you at home." Thank you, Ryan. Thank you. Oh, they're going to an event, and she's in this dress, but it's pretty cold, and she refuses a jacket, and basically she says, "If she's going to be photographed on my arm, then it's going to be in this dress." And he's like, "I don't blame her, because goddamn this dress." And it's so cute, because she dances with someone else, like her guy best friend from the hockey team, and he's like looking at them the whole time. But it's fine, because like his name is Rio, and he's amazing, and I need him to have his own book. But basically Rio's like, "I'm okay with it being used." But the thing is, Rio is like such a big fan of Ryan, and so anytime she's like, he tells what's her name? He tells Indy, he's like, "You do realize like you're using me against like my favorite person ever?" And she's like, "I know." And he's okay with it, because he's a ride or die fan for Indy. Why do I keep doing this? He's a ride or die fan for Indy. So he says they're like agreeing to like fake date, but then he's like, "No, because all of the media attention she'll get." And he's like, "Being normal is special. I won't be the reason you lose your privacy, especially over something as trivial as a fake date." Or, "I know this is all pretend, but fuck, I'd be lying if I said it didn't do something to my insides." When she said, "I miss home." Anyways, she makes it seem like her boyfriend is like such a like good guy, but he just cheated. Like, he makes it seem like the whole relationship is okay up until the cheating. No, he was an absolute douchebag. She says, "I'm used to playing the doting girlfriend who always has the right thing to say." That was almost second nature, because she was always playing like the good girlfriend, but like she always had to dumb herself down because she's so fucking smart. She had to dumb herself down. She didn't go to the college. She got into like an Ivy League, and she didn't go because of the boyfriend. So I was like, She sends she's like dancing at this like ball, and she's like, "Oh, he hasn't looked at me once." And then Xander's from the last book, he shows her a message like, "No, he's been worrying about you," because he says, "Keep an eye on Indy for me. She has no clue that these guys are eye fucking the hell out of her in that goddamn dress." I'm like, yep, go Xanders, go Ryan, y'all are amazing. Oh my god, I sound so annoying, I'm sorry. And then he like touches her leg, and she shivers, and he gives her the jacket, and she's like, "I'm not shivering because it's cold." Of course, I would shiver too. It's fine. Oh, and then her ex was intimidated by her intelligence, so she says some men don't want to feel like they have someone to compete with. Like, if you feel like you're competing with your boyfriend, leave his ass. But they've also known each other for like their entire life, so I get why she felt like that connection and why she couldn't leave him. But I'm glad he messed up and that she left him, because Ryan's so much better. Oh, and then basically, she's vegan, right? And she doesn't like hot coffee. So she realizes that in the mornings, when he serves his coffee, he serves a second one and puts it in the fridge so that when she makes an iced coffee, it doesn't become watered down with so much ice. And I'm like, oh my God. Amazing. And then he stops ordering regular bacon and only orders the vegan kind. Because she tries to cook it and she's like, where's the regular bacon? And he's like, I haven't been ordering it. The fake bacon's just as good, so might as well. But then later on, he realizes, he's like, I'm doing all of this because I want her to feel at home here. Like, I don't want her to leave anymore. And I'm like, we all know you don't want her to leave. Like, it was obvious from the first time you guys met. But he didn't realize that early enough. Let's see. Oh, Xander says, Ryan, my guy, you're so completely fucked and you can't even see it. And he couldn't see it. Oh, so more of a reason why she's just like me, she reads romance books and basically she explains them to him, and one of them is she's like, oh, the female main character hooks up with her ex-boyfriend's dad. What the fuck? Trust me, the little shit deserved it. And I was like, same, I read Birthday Girl too. Such an icon. Read it if you haven't. There was another one where she hooked up with her dad, but that one was weird because she gets kidnapped at the end. So wouldn't recommend. But yeah, Birthday Girl too. Read it. So good. Kind of, what is the word? Kind of taboo. And Penelope Douglas usually does not slay because she only writes about high schoolers. But this one was good because she wasn't in high school. Kind of liked it. Oh. Okay. He's describing her and he's like, she's the kind to seep into your veins and rewire your brain, making you do and say things you swore you never would. Whether she believes it or not, Indigo Ivers is the type of woman you keep forever. Oh my God, another thing. As you can see, I like this book. Another reason why she's like me, I can't find the freaking quote. Oh, I said the Converse. Oh my God, I'm doing that. So basically, what's it called? I can't speak. Basically, she has these Converse where she embroiders little things that are important to her. And I'm like, I'm gonna do that. And then at the end, she embroiders like his number in the heart and everything. But she has like all of these important things and she loves those Converse. I'm like, I want to do that. Like, that's such a freaking cute idea. And to wear them, to have like everything important to you embroidered on these Converse, they're gonna be my signature shoes. I'm stealing that from her. But I can't find another quote where I was like, Indy is just like me. They're talking about how they're gonna fake date, and he's like, no, I don't want to fake date you because then your privacy is gonna be ruined. But then she says, when they deep dive into my life, they'll find out I go to trivia, I cross-stitch in my free time, and I read dirty books. No one cares about me. I'm not you, Ryan. It's you they worship. So please let me go be a social butterfly because I'm starved for attention. I'm like, me. And then he calls her a grandma, but I'm like, that's me. Because I had a conversation with my coworker, and I was like, I'm turning 20, and I feel like I haven't done anything with my teenage years. And he's like, what do you want to do? And I was like, I don't know. But then I realized I'm like, in my free time, I crochet, and I embroider, and I read. I'm basically an old lady already. I'm like, I don't know why I'm so afraid of aging. I age so fucking quick. I need to go clubbing and quick. I'm just kidding. I don't want to. But yeah, I'm a little grandma, and I love Indy for that, for being a grandma. Oh, basically this guy flirts with her like during a game, and it's like his rival, and he gets a foul for it, and he's like, Ryan, I just caused you to get a technical foul, and he's like, worth it. But this is a man that did not want to date because he didn't want to ruin like him being captain. Like, he didn't do shit because he was like, no, captain is the most important thing to me, and he got a technical foul for her. I was like, it's so fucking cute. But yeah, that's another thing. And then he calls her, he says, there's my girl, and he's like, what did I just say? And it's so cute. I love that part. He takes care of her while she's sick. That is the best job ever. And she was mad at him, but he still takes care of her while she's sick. I'm like, iconic. I love you. Best part ever, her dad is deaf. She dated her ex-boyfriend since they were in high school and middle school, like since they were babies. He never learned sign language. The moment he met her dad, he started learning sign language with her mom on FaceTime. And she had no idea until like they started like falling in love. And he's like, and because I love you, and when I tell your dad that, I'll be the one to say it. Because basically he gets mad at her, and he gets mad at her for something, or no, he doesn't get mad at her, but he gives her space for something. I think because she reconnects with the ex, but he misunderstands the whole situation. But basically, he like, they bring these kids up at one of his games, and the little girl is deaf, and he signs to the little girl, and then she's like, what the fuck? So she goes to the restroom and cries and then comes back. I was like, that's so me too. But he's like, he explains to her, like, why he did it. He's like, because when I tell your dad that I love you, I want to be the one to say it. And he was learning sign language. And I was like, the effort. And then, oh, there's this funny part where she's like, oh, I'm going to Michael's. And he's like, say that again for me? I'm heading to Michael's. And who the fuck is Michael? And I was like, because if you guys don't get the joke, it's a craft store. But named after a guy. And I realized I had seen that quote on TikTok and I saved this book, but I didn't start reading this book for that quote. So I'm like, there's multiple reasons I would love this book. And I did. Oh, he says, I love that you read romance novels to feel something. I love that you love flowers and plants and become nurturing and allowing something to grow is second nature to you. I love that you experience every emotion so hard it takes over your entire body. But baby, I want to be the one to make you feel how your favorite books do. Oh my God. Because she tells him, she's like, oh, I'll give you a book to read. He's like, no, I want to read the page that you're on. And she's like, oh. And he opens the book and it's on a steaming part. And I was like, Oh, the third act breakup in this is so traumatizing. But I'm going to let you guys, even if you're watching these spoilers, I do not want to talk about it. But yeah. Oh my God. That third act breakup was something else. Most heartbreaking third act breakup ever. First of all, like, I thought Mile High. This one, no. Because it's not even, like, miscommunication. It's just, like, his genuine reaction to his trauma. Like, there's nothing she can do about it because it's his trauma. And it was her trauma, too. So it's, like, both of their traumas that just got triggered in that moment. And you're just, like, fuck. Like, I missed the miscommunication trope. Like, because this is heartbreaking. But it was all fixed. And it's a romance novel. So, yeah. 5 stars. And, yeah. On to my June TBR. Okay, June TBR. We know this is just like standard procedure now in every video because I don't read much, so I have to like add more. But I never really read these books. But yeah. But okay, one thing I do want to say before I say these is I am aiming to get my camera by July. I'm on a Canon G7X. This is what I'm aiming for. So hopefully these videos will become better quality. But if I get uglier with the better quality, I'm going back to the iPhone and I'm returning that camera. I'm just letting y'all know. Yeah. So the books I'm going to read in June. One book I want to read, but I'm waiting for me to get my vlog camera for. So hopefully by June this month. If I get it this month, I'll record it. My friend let me borrow The Hunger Games because I've never read them. So my brother's reaction. But yes, I'm gonna read The Hunger Games. Hopefully this month, if not in July. But I will finish it in the summer, and I'm doing a reading vlog. I did want to annotate them, so I went to Book Off and I found the first Hunger Games. So I'm going to most likely read it from this one because I kind of prefer paperbacks, but more than anything, I want to annotate it, especially the first one because I'm reading it for the first time. Yeah, I've also only ever watched the first movie, so I want to read them before the Ballad of, I forget, the song.
Songbirds and Snakes.
Huh?
Songbirds and Snakes.
The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I want to read them before they come out, so I will most likely do a vlog on them. But yeah. Hi. They already saw them. Miguelito's excited. Okay, another book I want to read, and okay. This is another book I want to read because these give off summer vibes, and I kind of want to read them to get my summer into a good start. So first is The Proposal, and The Proposal is about the girl, and she goes to a baseball game. I think her boyfriend, he's an actor. So she has an actor boyfriend, and she goes with her bros, and they've only been dating for like a couple months, and he proposes, but he can't say her name correctly. So she's like, what the fuck? So she doesn't know what to do, and she says no, but it's in front of all of his fans, and it goes viral in a bad way. But then he saves her, and he's like a doctor, and basically it's so then basically, yeah. So he rescues her. I don't know how. I haven't read the book. And basically, she's like, he's a perfect rebound because she doesn't think he's good enough because he's a doctor. This is all I'm getting from the back, though, by the way. And so they start using each other as rebounds. And the rest is history. And I'll find out what the history is in the book. Another recommendation by Steph Bower. Practice makes perfect. Yeah, look at that freaking cover. And the back is a little bit confusing because there's a second book, but if I'm not mistaken, she's from a small town. He's the bodyguard of... So Annie's brother's getting married, I think, to this famous girl. And so he's the security for the famous girl, or her brother's maybe famous. One of them is famous, but her brother's marrying this girl, and it's like high security. And so he comes, and then her date in the beginning of the book calls her boring. So she's like, "Is it me? Am I the problem?" And so she like makes him. Are you singing Anti-Hero right now?
I'm just
Okay, so then what else happens? Basically, he's teaching her how to date and be more interesting. But in the back, it says that he doesn't think she has to be more interesting. That she's perfect. But he's like, I'm not falling in love with her. And like, look at this cover. Is this not the best cover? And also, she wrote the cheat sheet. And I love the cheat sheet. Stop getting on the cart. You're moving it. She wrote the cheat sheet. And I love the cheat sheet. So hopefully I love this book. Hopefully. I'm really hoping. But yeah. Look at that. He's tattooed. She's blonde. She's the free people romper that I want. Perfection. Another one comes as no surprise. It was in my last TBR. Beach read. And I talked about it in my last book. Basically, they're both authors. They both were rivals in college. They both are like, okay, you have to write a book in my genre since you think it's so easy. And so she's a romance writer. He's sci-fi. They take each other on dates for each other's books. He takes her to like weird, mysterious shit. She takes him out on like cutie dates. That's it. Well, that was my June TBR and my May wrap up. Thank you guys for coming to my video, and I will see you guys next time I decide to post.